Hi guys, it's Chris from Go Run here. I'm here with Maddie, one of the more recent people that's come on board at Go Run, and I'm here to talk to her firstly about her Melbourne Marathon efforts, but also about why she got into running and what sort of things she enjoys doing. So, how are you, my friend? Are you well?
I'm good, thank you. Very well.
Awesome. We'll get onto that Melbourne Marathon stuff in a minute.
Sure.
But tell me a little bit about how you got into running, because it's quite a cool story about how you got into running.
Okay, so up until about 3.5 years ago, I wasn't running at all.
Okay.
And in fact, when I was at school, I was known as the girl who cannot run.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was really, even
Really
attempting to run was not very good. So I actually started up at a gym, Virgin Active, and I got a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And he was very encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I decided to do was sign up for the 10K Melbourne Marathon Festival that October, so 3 years ago. It was a really big deal for me. I couldn't ever see myself running 10K.
Yeah.
And my personal trainer, Troy, he was one of the original event directors for Parkrun.
Of course.
And he said, "Oh, you should come down to Parkrun." And I was thinking, "Oh, you know what? There's no way I can run a 5K. I'm struggling to do sort of 2." And I talked about it with him for quite a while, saying, I don't feel confident to go. I'm not going to be very fast. Everyone's going to be laughing at me. I can't run. But he basically said, "Look, just come and see how you get on." So I went, and pretty much every Saturday since then I've been going. And then I met a lot of people through Parkrun. I did the 10K at Melbourne Marathon, and then different people encouraged me to sort of do more, and then I found myself training for a half. And then last year I actually did my first full marathon as well. So so each Melbourne Marathon Festival I sort of stepped upward from 10 to half to the full. So
Awesome.
and now I just I love running, and I couldn't imagine it not being part of my life.
So that's such an awesome story. I love hearing stuff like that. And tell us a little bit about this Melbourne Marathon. It's just gone, a month and a bit ago. What time did you do? Was it a PB? All that sort of stuff.
So my experience this year was absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of it, and I never ever thought I would say that. Last year was horrendous, and I hated every minute of it. And I actually thought I would never ever put myself through that again. 6 months on, I found myself signing up after a few glasses of wine one night, thinking, you know what, I can do better than that. So this year, I got a PB by 12.5 minutes. So I did 4:24:30, I think, around that. I should know that time really. And I absolutely loved the experience. I felt really strong. I felt really good. I got to 30K and I was still running. I wasn't walking like I was at the same point last year. I got to 35K and I was overtaking a lot of people, and I was thinking, awesome I feel so good, and I think I think I walked once, whereas last year I walked quite a lot, and it just felt so good to be feeling strong and thinking, I'm going to run all the way, and I'm going to get a good time. So
that's such an amazing story.
Yeah.
I think for me, the thing that I was impressed of, looking back, over that period of time where you were training, was firstly, your consistency over that long period of time. It's over winter as well. It's not easy.
It wasn't easy.
Were there mornings where you just did not want to get out of bed and you hated running and all that sort of stuff?
Absolutely. Like you say, it was over winter. I'd wake up, it was dark, I could hear the wind, I could hear the rain. So we live on Beach Road, and you sort of I was out there most of the time.
Most of the time. Be honest. I think, again, one of the things we've talked about a little bit is about people stressing out when they're running. And you said that You said that the previous Melbourne Marathon was very different to this Melbourne Marathon. It sounds like you were more relaxed this time
Absolutely,
around. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about, why do you stress out when you're running?
I think the big difference for me this year from last year was my first one, and as I said, I've got a lot of running friends now, and they all run different abilities. And I think a lot of people had different ideas as to what I should be doing and what time I should be running. And people said, "Oh, you should be fine. You should be able to do it in about 4 hours." Yeah. And then when I was running the marathon, I was thinking, "There's no way I'm doing this in 4 hours." And then I got really stressed about it, thinking, "Well, what's everyone going to think of me?"
Yeah.
So I suppose the things that stress me out are what other people are doing, and why aren't I doing as much as they are, or as little as they are, or why aren't I running as fast as they are? Why aren't I going as fast as people think I should be?
Yeah.
And that really messed with my mind last year. So this year, in fact, I didn't tell a lot of people that I was doing it for a very long time.
Okay.
Because I didn't want people to have an opinion about what I should be doing. So I actually kept it to myself. Yeah. And I was going to keep it to myself right until the end, but I can't keep a secret. So it didn't work. But I made it clear to everyone that I was just doing this for myself. I didn't want anyone's opinion. I wanted to be doing my own thing. Yeah. And I went out with that mindset on the day, and I was thinking, this is just for me. It's not about anybody else. Yeah. And that was the biggest shift for me, was to just think, this is for you, nobody else. Yeah. Do your own thing. You've got nothing to prove to anybody apart from yourself. So that was a big thing. That's not to say I didn't run the whole run thinking, I can't do this, because I did. But then I came up with some strategies around focusing on things that had annoyed me over the past few weeks. Okay. So I've gone through a bit of a difficult time at work, and I was just focusing on that. and just to think about something else rather than think about, I can't do this, really, really helped. So, awesome. But I was just much more relaxed, definitely.
That's awesome. I mean, I think I see it all the time, that comparison. And, none of us are immune to it, I don't think, that we just constantly compare with somebody else, or somebody else's time, or somebody else's training. Theirs is better or worse or whatever. Absolutely. So it's a big thing to overcome. Yeah. I'm really pleased that you've managed to do that this time around. That's awesome. Before we let you go, I just want to hear about what's next. Are you just training for the enjoyment of it? You sound like you're really enjoying your running at the moment, or you have some big goals in mind or anything like that?
Yeah. What I don't want to happen is I did all that training for the marathon, and I don't want to lose that now. So I want to just sort of maintain a certain level from where I was. Last year, because I had such a bad experience, I just stopped, and then until after Christmas it took me a while to get going again. So I'm just trying to keep that up. I'd like to focus on some sort of shorter goals, like park run PB, 5k PB, and a 10k PB, perhaps around the new year. Mm-hmm. And then next year I've got a couple of races, so the Great Ocean Road, 23k. Oh, it's a lovely run. Yeah, and the Gold Coast Half Marathon as well. So they're on my radar at the moment.
Cool. Well, plenty of training to get done.
Absolutely.
And you've got a good block of base fitness and everything. You should be absolutely fine.
Hope so.
So thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for being honest with us. Yeah. It's awesome to see you, and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much. Cool.